On the left here, this picture, this building, Bill, is what was later known as the Candy Cupboard.
Yeah.
And there's a...
But that's beauty parlor was there before that.
Okay, and you had something very close, you said, to that building.
We lived right on the upstairs.
You lived upstairs in that building, on Main
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
On the, I guess that's the north side of Main Street. And this building on your right, with the buggy or in front of it there, or the fire truck, with everything out there, was a fire. That's the fire of 1912. That home was whose?
I can't remember it. Boyer.
I think it's Boyer was there, and there was, I think the LaFountains were involved at one time.
Well, there was a LaFountain that lived in an apartment on the end of the building. That guy, he was a railway clerk that worked on the railroad here.
Okay. This home later became the property of Fred Burnett.
Yeah.
And Dick Burnett was raised in this home, and it had a beautiful...
I think that Victor Valek lived there for quite a while.
Did he? Vic Valek too?
After Fred Burnett bought it, he was living there.
It was quite a ways. It was probably, it's, you know where the A&P was later, and today is a warehouse back there. The bank was there. That's where that building is. And it was located probably a couple hundred feet from the road.
Well, I'd say about 100, probably 125. And he had a gas pump in the front for a while.
At one time? Oh, yeah? So this was a fire. It didn't burn completely, but that was when the fire was going through. Okay, another picture that I've had over a period of time.
Half the people watching never heard of the Candy Cupboard.
All right. What can we call it today?
Champlain Outlet.
The Champlain Outlet, owned by Meg Spiegel. I beg your pardon, right here.
That was enough, but I know that after that, when Jim Todd went in there after the Budets moved out. Jim Todd, you know, he married one of the Kaufman girls.
Kaufman girl. That's in the this building here.
Yeah.
Romeo Filio.
Romeo Filio had a...
and Romeo Filio was there after, too.
Okay. And over here is Bob's Barbershop, just to the... back onto Moore and Main Street, over to the right here would be Bob's Barbershop today.
Yes.
We don't have a year on this picture. This is one I got from Art Picard and had a copy made. Right in the middle you see the St. Mary's Catholic Church. And if you'll notice, just to the right of the church, what would be our parking lot, the right is, well, the rectory, and then to the right of that is a long building. And there were two buildings along there in what is now our parking lot. One was a blacksmith, and I do not have a name offhand here. I can't give you a name. If you look straight ahead above it, you see a big square white building. That big white building was the American House, or today the Robin's Nest is in that building on Main Street.
Was there a monument by the church?
Good question. Yes, there is. And the monument was put in
1909, something like that?
1907.
So it has to be taken after that.
Yes, it was taken after that. So I would guess her in the late teens or early 20s. And back over here is Cedar Street. This is the, well, I beg your pardon, I know it's after 19. This is the old village hall, which used to be the Presbyterian church. Because of the different steeple here, they had a round steeple on the church. It burned in 1927. The steeple is gone, so I did remember this was taken after 1927. We don't see many cars that we can center on. And by the way, it's tough. I'm looking at it from behind with the light shining through it, and everything is backwards. But gives you an idea anyway. This was the St. Mary's yard. I was up in here someplace. Just a nice old picture of downtown Champlain years ago. This goes up Church Street, and then you can turn into Meadow Lane. And you were telling us that...
Well, Frank Jefferson lived right on the corner, house right on the corner. Then you up a little ways, and that was Harry Oil's house. The Oils, he married Jackie Favreau's grandfather.
He was Jackie's grandfather.
Yeah,
yes. Okay. Yes.
Jackie
Okay.
Favreau's
Yep.
grandfather. The Oils used to own a lot of property around here at one time.
Yes, they did. They owned the.
And after they got married, he married this Catholic girl. They disowned it.
Oh. And they lost, I understand, during the Depression, they lost a lot of money. They had money in the bank.
During the Depression, I don't know. He was the only one around here during the Depression.
Yeah, but the bank lost money during the Depression. I heard he had money involved.
Well, I lost
the Hoyle.
some too.
You lost some too back then. The Hoyles, there was a Hoyle, Timothy Hoyle, that built the home where Mrs. Kaufman lives now, on the corner of Chestnut and he was an officer in the bank back in the 1840s and 50s.
And he owned land across the border, a lot of land across
Owned
the
a lot of
border.
land. And so Eddie, you were telling us that behind St. Mary's Church, you can see this cross right in here. That's what is now the playground, but it was all hill back
Uh-huh,
there.
hill, yeah.
And what did you say happened in
It
1812?
seemed to me that they used to have cannons up there, pointing towards Canada.
They were at the high point in the village
Yeah.
was right there.
Well, a lot of fighting went around here too. We don't know about. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell you, right along the border was a bunch of soldiers buried, right along the line.
Right.
But very few people know where it is. I know where it is.
There's no stones or
There's
anything,
nothing.
right? No, there's
but
no.
you go there and see where all the depressions are. There must have been a lot of them.
Is that near where Biddard lived?
Right on the line, the border, right on Oak Street, right on the fence, along the fence line on
Yeah.
the American side.
They were buried.
It used to be the Donagay's farm, but now I don't know. Is it Béchard?
It was Bayshore. I think they sold it too. I believe he sold it.
I can take you up there. As long as it's not overgrown, I can show you what the depressions are, where the graves were.
Now, not only did Champlain have a church, but Rouse's Point had a church back in the 20s, early 20s. It was on Church Street in Champlain, on Rouse's Point, and this is it's right in front of where their cemetery is now on Church Street, on the west end of the community. And this was, I guess, torn down when they built the new one in about 1924-25.
I don't remember that. I wasn't here.
Their lot is still there. There's a monument, and there's an entrance now to the cemetery right through where the church was. The foundation is
That
still
was a
there.
nice looking church.
Yes, it was.
Nice looking
As
church.
a matter of
Nice
fact,
setup.
I had a small, this comes from a postcard. I had it blown up in Plattsburgh. I've been getting these done at Staples. I'm not advertising for Staples. I'm helping you people to get some good copies. This is a colored copy. This cost me about $3.25, $3.50, somewhere in that range. It's in plastic, it's enlarged, and it's color. While I was down there, and I showed the postcard to a gentleman who stopped and talked with me, Bob Casey, Meg's father and Art Spiegel's father-in-law, and he said he had some connections with this church and would like a copy. So I have made him an 8x10 copy, which he's going to get in the next couple of days because they're leaving for Florida. And this is the old church, a nice old picture of the St. Patrick's Church. Are we frozen on, Cal?
Yep.
Okay, this is a picture of an open-air bus, I guess.
That's what it is.
Apparently, they had a bus that went from Plattsburgh here, but this is more than a regular. The sign there says Plattsburgh, and in different places, Moores, and so forth. The first cart bus, I guess. There are a lot of people on the street, so I have a feeling that this was a parade. The building you see on the left there, right behind the pole, is the old arcade. What can you tell us about the arcade? That's the brick building on the corner.
There used to be a tavern at one time, I believe. Hubert LaBonche's father, I think, ran that.
They had a pool hall in there, I
Then
understand.
after the provision came on, they turned it into a pool hall.
That's upstairs now, and that building is where Betty Babby lives.
And that woman there at Leffert, I think, she had her place in there. That with these herbs she was selling.
Which reminds me, while we're talking about it, that Bill gave me a little gift today. See this little box right here? It's a little tiny, looks like a big matchbox. It opens up, all right? And it says, Herb Shop, Arcade Building, Champlain, New York, G. Leffert, 100 tablets, prepared for them, with the Champlain name on it, and it's a mild, harmless bowel activator. That's what there were, 100 tablets, may be given to children. And then inside, it didn't come empty, Bill gave me a 5-cent token to the Champlain Hotel toward any drink at the Champlain Hotel. Now, there's 3 of them. He's got a red, a white, and a blue. He gave me the 3 colors of our flag, and they're all worth a nickel, except that they aren't open anymore.
No, that was given when the Shabbat woman was working there. Was that running it?
Okay, so Bill gave me that. Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate that. And One of the other things that we were talking about while we were here are some bottles. Now, this bottle, not to be sold. It's an old bottle with a round top.
We use a cork on there.
A cork. And it says John Robb, Malone, New York. And people used to put their own names, I guess, on their bottles. William Shaw, Rouse's Point, New York. Are those at the right angle for you, Cal? And here's one with Kane and Shaw, Rouse's Point. Now, I don't know whether it comes before or after this, but the stopper was inside the bottle, and when you pulled it up to seal the bottle, then down to empty. And these were very thick, and I suppose very collectible too, right?
Yeah.
And here's one from PM and Company, 8 ounces, Plattsburgh, New York. Looks a little bit more modern maybe than these. These are older than that one, I believe.
What came in these bottles?
Do you know what came in those bottles? What kind of...
It must have been soft drinks.
Probably soft drinks there.
Soft drinks.
Now this is Florida water, Murray and Landman, Druggist, New York. But I don't know if it's New York City. I have no idea. This could be soft drink here. Very thick.
Real old bottles are usually that color.
Yep, and they had their own medicine bottles too, right?
Oh yeah.
But this is F.J. Coulomb, Bottling Works, Plattsburgh, New York. Now there's a fancy bottle. Very fancy.
That's a nice one.
Very nice. A great conversation piece in the house. And it, by pushing down, I don't want to break. You push this down.
Push down the lever.
You push the lever down, and there was a straw down through the middle. It gave you a shot. See?
Yeah.
I've never seen one like that. I have seen this type, but never have seen this. And that was I could say F.J. Coulomb Bottling Works, and don't know if that was liquor or whatever. Very hard to clean.
Well, they used to have these at the soda pound. They'd get some stuff out, different things out of the bottles. I remember that.
Yeah. Now, Bill, where would you get something like these bottles?
They get auctions.
Auctions and things?
Yeah, years ago. My God, that's 40, 50 years ago, more probably. But people didn't even care for that stuff.
10 or 15 cents, maybe?
Probably a lot less than that. Yeah.
Do you tell me you go to auctions and pick up stuff?
Well, I haven't been much the last few years, but I used to go a lot of them.
You did, huh?
Oh, yeah. A lot of the cans. I used to know everybody from, I'd say, way up near Valleyfield, Quebec to Quebec City.
A lot of people know Bill LaBelle in this area today, even, and we want to remind you, if you just tuned in late, that this gentleman right next to me is going to be celebrating his 87th birthday. It's coming, January will be 87. He'll be celebrating his 87th birthday, and he's as spry as Calvin or I, or more so. Very much. And we appreciate his taking the time to show us this. We have a picture here that we should show that has people. And maybe you better freeze this one because so he can see remind us who they are. The gentleman is left to right.
That's me.
Oh, okay. All right, in this picture, the man on the left is Bill LaBelle with the cat.
And the gun.
And the gun. Oh, yeah, he's got a gun there.
We all had guns.
You all had. And then the next one is who?
Albert Duquette.
Now, Albert was Homer's father? No.
No. He lived in his father was Adelard Duquette on Oak Street. They had a farm there for years. Adelard. Emil Duquette. You know Emil Duquette?
Yes, I did, yes.
Well, that's his brother.
Okay.
Well, I think Emil's the only one left in that family.
All right, then.
And that was next to right to the sugar house. Up there, next to Francis Roberts. You know
where yes, on Route
across the road
yes,
there.
Yes.
The sugar bush was back in there.
Okay, this is taken in 1928, by the way. The next one is a guy named Gerald Flagel.
His father was a tailor. They had his place. They lived in the Costello block that burned.
Here in Champlain?
Yeah.
Flagel or Flagel?
Flagel.
And then the next one is Homer Gamache on the right.
Homer Gamache is still He's living with his son right now, I guess, on the road to Ferris Mill.
Okay, the old Route 11, not past the milk plant there, right? And so this was this just a hunting expedition, or?
We happened to go there, and then just during sugaring time in the spring.
Uh-huh. So who took the picture, do you remember?
I don't know. I think it's probably my brother Delor or somebody else that was with us took the picture.
It looks like he's been colored, probably hand-colored later. I don't think it was a colored picture. 1928, that Bill was 22 years old at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Just starting off your life.
28, that's the first year I voted.
Oh, yeah, right. It was the first year, huh?
I voted for Al Smith that year.
Okay, that you lost your vote there, didn't you? You sure did. Well, tomorrow you're going to have it again. A photographer in Champlain for many years, before Raymond Stone, is it Raymond? Yeah. Ralph Stone. I always want to call him Raymond. Ralph Stone came as our photographer. There was a man by the name of Wright.
That's right.
M.L. Wright.
Yeah. He was there for quite a few years. Yeah.
And he took this picture of the dedication of a cross in the Catholic cemetery on Prospect Street in 1901. This it shows the 40th anniversary of the opening of the cemetery, which started in 1861. So he was here for quite a long while.
I believe all these pictures of the flood and everything, I think he's the one.
Mostly his. And he had 3 daughters and at least 1 son. At least one.
I never knew any of the sons or daughter, but I knew him because that's where we'd have our pictures taken when we were little kids.
Uh-huh.
But I know that a lot of his photos there, that he's got a stamp on.
Yes, they're embossed.
Which is a good idea.
They're embossed right in, you know. And he has a son today living in Clinton, New York, south of here, who I met a year ago. And he had 3 daughters, 2 still living. 1 passed away the past year. 1 was married to Dr. McDowell, and then they're married to Farringtons now, a Dr. Farrington, dentist. And their father took a lot of pictures here. And they all graduated in 1928, 29, 30 here at Champlain. Another picture, and just a nice old picture of the church. This was Father Choyon in this picture, I believe. He died in 1911. He was here then. The very small picture that Bill has in his little pack of pictures here, we're not sure where this was taken. It's probably taken in the late 30s, early 40s, because those cars are in late 30s or 40s. And to start with, the second from the left, the one in the back, second from the left here, is Lester Hamill.
Yeah,
we think. You can probably pick out Lester Hamill.
And then Morris Gregoire.
The third one from the left, he'd be in the front here, the third from the left, Morris Gregoire, we think. The next one in the front, right next to him, is Ernie Hamill, Lester's brother.
Ernest.
Had married Grace Ashline. In the back on the right, you thought it looked like a Coulomb, but we're not sure.
I'm not sure.
And the man with the hat in the middle might be?
That's Gerard Flajol.
Flajol, like he mentioned, was a tailor.
His father was
a tailor. We're not sure on these. These are some that are not marked.
Either him or his brother Silva, because they both looked alike.
Yep. And if Calvin take that off the camera now, this is the size of the picture compared to my hand. See, it's a very small picture, so it's very hard to pick up from it. It's not like today's 4x6. We're just about ready to close off. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. We're at the residence of Bill LaBelle, who's been very kind to go through his pictures here, of some of those that kind of tied in with these.
There's the names in the back.
Okay, let's take a look at one more then here. Maybe we'll look at...
That was taken in 1927.
Okay, maybe... this was taken in front of the Greenberg Brothers ski plant in Champlain, New York, 1927. And the occasion...
That was the only one working there at the time.
That was the whole crew?
That's the whole crew.
Oh, and that's when you started, too?
Yeah.
All right. From the left.
Mrs. Bringberg, Edric's wife, took that
picture?
Olive.
Okay. Now, tell us who they are now from left to right. Bill Wheatley?
Bill Wheatley.
You tell us anything about Bill?
Well, I don't know too much. He used to live up the other end of the village, French Village, up there. He boarded in the house up there, right next to the Dudley's house.
Okay. Arthur Duquette is the next one.
Yeah. He lived there on South Street, right across from the the cemetery.
Okay, where is that Cliff Duquette's
Yeah,
father?
that's his father. Clifford used to bring his lunch for him at noon.
Okay,
He
they
was
live
only about 7, 8, 9 years old.
right across from our cemetery there, that gray house. Now the
There was his daughter lived there for quite a while after
Rita.
that. Rita.
Yeah, now the Patres live there. All right, Bill LaBelle, of course, that's this man that's sitting right here with us.
And Earl Smith.
Earl Smith was from Prospect Street.
Yeah, he lived in that brick house. There was Smith that started the oil business. But it wasn't the same Smith.
Okay, he's right across from Racine's farm, right?
No, right across the old railroad track on Oak Street.
Yes. Well, there's a Racine farm that's there.
No, Oak Street, on Oak Street.
Oh,
not
Oak.
Prospect.
I beg your pardon.
Not Oak-
Oh, he
Prospect,
lived
no,
on Oak Street.
That brick house, and I think Smith's oil lived there.
Yes,
there
there
for
is,
a while,
yes.
but that was there, so where he was living at the time.
Are they related to
Then I don't know if they're related.
Right.
George, his father's name was. He used to have a team of horses. He'd haul gravel and sand and stuff, and he married Bernie King's mother when his father died. You know Bernie King? And
Yes, yep, lives on North Star Road.
And they live right across from the Racine farm.
Yep. Also,
And that's where your mother-in-law got burnt.
yes, okay, yes. Now,
Carrying your wife across the road.
correct. Now, Earl Smith, then his daughter was Florence King Hussey today.
Yeah.
Florence King. All right. George Dupont.
DuPont.
The next person.
Yeah, he was the son of the DuPont, and you saw in the picture the store in the village.
All right, down near St.
John
Mary's.
DuPont.
Yep.
They lived right up here next to Arsene's garage. Now it's the village garage. That house right next to it.
Okay.
That's where their home was.
Right. Joe Martin is the last person on the right.
Yeah.
Do you know remember anything
Well,
about
he's
Joe?
father of Malcolm Martin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, in the 30s, Malcolm, I think, graduated. He came to our reunion in 1990. He'll probably be here next year. He's a minister out in
his
Missouri,
son,
I
his
believe.
son is a minister too.
The grandson, you mean, of Joe?
No, his son.
His son, that's what I meant. He is a minister out in Missouri, I think. And, well, very good. And these were the only people that worked for you in 1927.
There seldom had more than 17, 18, even during rush time.
At this time, you became foreman, but you weren't foreman then. You just
Long
started.
after that, as time went on, and way back in the middle 30s.
Okay. We're going to call it a day. We've been going since 10 o'clock this morning with this gentleman. He came out to the frog pond, and it was kind of windy out there, wasn't it?
I guess it was.
And we appreciate you very much. I've been over several times and have borrowed his pictures to make copies for myself. And later they would go into the local historian here eventually. And Bill just likes old things, and he has a memory like you wouldn't believe. They talk about President Reagan now coming down with Alzheimer's, 83. This man can remember probably who was in his classes at school. You can remember. He has a great memory. And when you see Bill outside, if you've got some questions, ask Bill. Bill's always willing to talk to people. Very much so, eh, Bill?
Like this one, I'll have to get
We'll have to get the name.
my daughter to find out, because her stepmother, her mother-in-law is in that picture.
Okay, another picture we have here. All right,
Kellis, and she was a LaValle girl, John LaValle's daughter. They lived on Cedar Street in the back there. They're still there, I think, the whole homestead. She married Bill Rye.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much for watching Hometown Cable and this program on mostly about the area of Champlain, New York, old pictures and the great interview. We want to thank the Mark Wark again, Jerry and Ron, for letting us be on their property today and getting the pictures of the old canals and hearing all about the 1937 to 1953 when Noonfelt operated the frog farm there. And we'll see you again soon, Bill.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay, and thank you for watching Hometown Cable every day, 1 o'clock, 4:30, 8 p.m., midnight, and again the following morning at 8 o'clock. Every day, you can watch this kind of program, the various programs that Calvin brings with the events, of sporting events, the meetings of the village, anything that he thinks is worthwhile that you would like to see. You're not going to like them all, let's face it. You're not going to watch everything. You're not going to watch this whole 3-hour program we got here or whatever it may be, but parts of it, you'll wish you had seen it all, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much again, Bill.
Forgot this there.
Oh, well, we'll get that next time when we talk about Yehudi Ashman. Have to take a topic. He can just...
Picture.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hometown Cable. Our program is called What's Going On Here? I'm Bob Venn. Calvin Castine has the camera, as usual. You wonder where we get our leads sometime and who we're going to talk to? Look at this big article here in the first page of the second section of the Plattsburgh Press. This week, as a matter of fact, on Wednesday, this is Friday, Mark Berry, well known the Northern Tier. And so what are we going to do? We're going to talk to Mark Berry. Good morning, Mark Berry.
Good morning to you, too.
Live.
Thank you very much.
Live, and a good story here by our neighbor, Steve Manor, who's been writing for the Plattsburgh paper for years, and was in this building at one time. Is he still?
Steve Manor still has an office just down the hall, as a matter of fact.
That's where he gets his information, gets all these leads to see Mark Berry.
It's a short walk. They're not as aggressive at the Press Republican as they are at Hometown Cable.
Oh, no? No.
They don't do house calls.
Well, we know Mark Berry. We got to tell us a little bit about Mark Berry before we start. Just we know you're native of Champlain?
Native of the area. Went to Plattsburgh just long enough to be born. Was brought up in Champlain, living in Rouse's Point since '76. College at Plattsburgh State. Another degree at St. Michael's. Took my master's degree there, and started my own company 16 years ago, as a matter of fact. And we changed the name. We're now known